What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd, and I'm back with some more Age Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the top of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is GrandMonster. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Zeus. His name is TSM Player. Even though he's in the F2 clan, he still reps the TSM tag. Filthy two-clanning maniac. I'm just kidding. I don't think that TSM is actually a thing anymore. He's just, it's more of a vintage tag, I guess. Just showing off that he was a part of one of the more cool clans in the Age Mythology history. So we've got Zeus versus Odin on Frozen Waste. This is a really, really good map for Odin. You get, well, sometimes you can get incredibly lucky, but this one, not the most luck in the world for the Odin, but still doesn't matter. You get the 2 gold mines. You get the open base. The problem that Odin runs into against Zeus, or good Zeus, is that, 1, how do you deal with Athena? 2, how do you deal with Hermes? Both are issues. You can't play around both of them at the same time. Like playing around Athena, you need to wall segment your towers up really well. You need to build your buildings nice and protective like. Against Hermes, you need to get walls up. And how do you deal with both? You don't. So we'll see exactly what GrandMonster is going to do. We just see Staff of Dionysus here, plus 20 villager food carrying capacity. Great relic there for GrandMonster. TSM Player, on the other hand, he's just chilling. He's scouting around, looking for his goats. I honestly wouldn't be surprised to see Player go for Centaur here. I also wouldn't be surprised to see him go for Athena here. I don't think either or is a bad choice in this matchup. There's a couple of really, really nasty Hermes-style semi-fast mythics, or I say a couple. There is a Hermes-style semi-fast mythic that Greek can do, or Zeus specifically can do against Odin, which is pretty brutal. The idea is that your heroes can take out the Ursa, and your raiding cavalry, or your centaur, take out some villages, and then once they're walled up, you just start taking out a raiding cavalry. And then you just rush to the Mythic Age, Lightning Storm, and then you can spam out Medusa and Bellerophon. And then what does the Odin player do to come back in that situation? Yeah, that's it. But we'll see what player's going to do. It's kind of more of a meme strat, but it's still pretty strong if it gets pulled off. And maybe better on Extended Edition where Centaur have the stronger stats. But we'll see. We'll see what player's going to do here. We're just moving over here onto this location to get the granary. So I haven't seen the other relic just yet. Makes me feel sad. It's the Kithara of Apollo. 10% extra villager move speed. One of my favorite ones. There's the temple. We got some walls up. We got the ravens popping out for GrandMonster. Freya is the god of choice, obviously. And I am very, very interested to see which god player is going to go for. He's actually moving forward onto this hunt very, very aggressively with 7 villages. Makes me feel like this is going to be where he wants to put up his military academy, his archery ranges, and everything else. Temple is up. 1 villager going to be gathering some favor maybe. And I think this is Athena here. There's the Athena. Okay. So the question now comes, does TSM Player go for a 1-town center Athena or a 2-town center Athena? The map hack's coming in for GrandMonster. Going to spot the villagers here, which is going to send the Valkyrie forward, maybe send the Hersa forward, though I think he should definitely grab the Staff of Dionysus first. One thing I'm surprised about from GrandMonster is that he didn't move forward and grab this hunt as soon as he spotted it. I am very surprised about that because that's a big way in which you defend against the Athena rush. Because this food here, while it's not exactly safe, Watchtowers makes it fairly safe in the back. And also it's right around the back of his base as well. So GrandMonster's going to run out of this food and then have to eat goats and eat berry bushes, which makes life very tough. We do see a wall coming up here for GrandMonster, moving forward with the Valkyrie, with the Hersa. Villagers about to put up their military buildings. Obviously, moving. I like the hidden military buildings forward. Not putting them up on this location where the army is definitely going to be going. There's the archery range. There's the military academy. Hersa is in. Do you retreat from this? I guess not. Well, he's retreating one villager. And TSM or GrandMonster's not microing this one too well. It does pick up the Kithara of Apollo before moving in. Jason is on the way, and Odysseus is just about to come out. Bolt comes down there. The villager will retreat all the way back into the base. The Hersa coming around here, and we see the classic 50 wood forest fire here from GrandMonster. If we check out the resources for player, he's got wood in the bank. He's fine. He's already got the double storehouse. And now you're down at Classical Age God Power. The villagers fighting off the Hersa. Imagine if you held on to Forest Fire in one of your games. Imagine what you could accomplish in the long history of Norse players. Imagine. Villager not going to die there to the Hersa either. So sacrifice. That's a lot of resources lost there for GrandMonster as well. And if I reckon players should just build a second Minotaur after picking off one of those Hersa, because there's normally you only build three Hersa. Looks like GrandMonster's built 4 Hersa, but picking off one with one very low HP here, why not? Why not? Food Village is going to move forward onto the Walrus with the double military academy here, or double military buildings here for player. We'll see what he's going to do. If we remember the way that Pegasus Rush plays Zeus, and the Mister plays Zeus, and any of the really strong Zeus players, and they do these Athena rushes against Odin, they try not to go all in on it. They only build 2 military buildings. They try not to lose units too willy-nilly. Instead, they rush Mythic Age behind this, rush Hera, and then they hit the timing later, or win with Restoration earlier, one of the two, depending on which way they see the game going. But never do they ever build more than 2 of these. Ooh. Interesting second granary. But never do they ever build the 3rd military building. And we'll see if that's going to be part of this or not. The villagers about to get caught out here. The raiding cavalry will not see these ones coming around the back. GrandMonster's going to have to run all the way around this way with more units moving in to push this one off. The villagers do run. We're going to see one villager kill, potentially. The ox caravan, ox cart, I should say, going down as well. There's one villager over here getting left behind. Bunch of units for player have to come over here. We do see the houses going up as player is trying to defend against the raiding cavalry raids. There are 6 villagers here. He can definitely fight this one back, and the raiding cavalry going to be retreating. Oh, they get out of there. Yes, they make their way through that wood. Might want to throw up a wall segment or something here. As the villagers get back onto the berry bushes, the ox cart was taken down, and we're not seeing an extra ox cart getting built by GrandMonster just yet. We do see the watchtowers are up. The question is going to be, can GrandMonster get to the heroic age here? He's got 64 population. He's making throwing axemen. He's got this wall up. He should finish this off a little bit better. Another wall coming up to prevent the units from coming through here. The Minotaur attempting to move forward and make a push through this, but it's not going to happen. Raiding cavalry are hitting the back of this sentry tower. I love that play if you're raiding elsewhere, because if you hit the sentry tower here first with like 1 raiding cavalry, that stops any signal. Or you know how you the like the doo thing that goes off when you get raided. It doesn't go off because you're getting told you're getting raided on the sentry tower and not getting raided on your villager line there. So that's actually a really smart play if you go for a multi-raid, but GrandMonster not going for it that way, and we're seeing what looks to be player canceling hoplite training here. He's going for the heroic age. And I imagine behind this, he's just going to go straight for the mythic age. Because GrandMonster is semi-fast heroicing, eating only berries, whereas player is able to just hunt and be a happy fat Zeus boy here. So really nice control from player. Is pushing in, he's going to kill this watchtower. The watchtower will get 1 pick off there though. Looks like the army of GrandMonster a little bit out of position here as he's in the back, as he's not yet advanced to the next age. We see GrandMonster almost with the food, player almost with the food as well. A little bit more units out for player than GrandMonster. He's lost a couple of towers, but obviously watchtowers were built, so it seems like the watchtowers paid themselves off so far. And there's the armory coming up for player. Really nice timing on that one. The house is going down slowly. The tower needs to be targeting down hoplites. If you're ever in these situations at Norse, this is one of the most important things you can do with your micro, is make sure your towers are not hitting heroes. The heroes have higher pierce armor, not hitting minotaurs, not hitting heroes. Hitting hoplites if you can. It's much better than anything else, because you're going to be able to pick those off. And they do so much damage. But GrandMonster's not really doing that. Skadi is coming through. The gold mine gets pushed off. Ooh. And GrandMonster's actually out of gold here. We'll see if he sneaks this gold mine, which he probably should. But it looks like he's just going to chop down this tree. Maybe go for a frost play here. And we see Dionysus coming through for player. So I guess the question follows. Well, bronze doesn't counter frost in any way, shape, or form. The units might get bronzed on the way out, and then restoration comes in, I guess. Maybe with restoration, bronze is a good idea. But maybe he loses those units anyways. We'll see. Player making a move back and allowing this gold mine to get gathered from for a hot second here. Almost 150 resources gathered from the gold mine. The TSM player units will spot this one as the army is moving forward. We're at 95% heroic age. There we go. As GrandMonster hits the heroic age here. And Dionysus comes through for TSM player. We're going to see a frost coming down here immediately so that the hill fort comes out so that we can start seeing some Hapaspis. But I imagine that the answer here for player is Huskal. Yeah, my brain not working in the right order. But I imagine player either just goes to heroic mythic age here or makes a Hapaspis himself to deal with the Huskal. Heracles coming out. Ooh, that's a lot of food there for the Heracles. Obviously staying in this age. Not going for the next age. We see the Frost Giant doing its thing. And it's looking like GrandMonster probably going to be okay here. The Frost does a lot of damage to this army. We'll see a restoration immediately. Maybe after the restoration we see bronze. You have to make sure you don't cast bronze too fast because these units doesn't quite work until later. Looks like player's just going to calmly retreat back, losing a lot of units, but he's just going to calmly retreat back into these units here, defending against the raiding cavalry that are trying to catch up here. Huskal getting spammed out. More Frost Giants are in here. So those are going to be very difficult for player to deal with. But he does have the Heracles. Absolute tank of unit. But against Norse, the Heracles isn't that good. Only 25% hack armor. There's the bronze coming through in order to keep his units alive. The Heracles getting sniped down. We'll probably see a restoration coming through soon. The Hydra getting sniped there. The Heracles going to get kept alive for a long time here as the restoration does its wonders there. And now the army getting pushed back. GrandMonster in a decent position still. He just needs to get back to the hill fort, turn around, and then he can sort of fight this. And player's got no avenue to push on this gold mine. The question is going to be, can we get hill fort up on this gold mine as well in order to defend? And then where does player go behind this? Because he's currently just making Hapaspis, which is going to force GrandMonster to make raiding cavalry or Jarl. Obviously, Jarl are completely fine to be made at this point, but he doesn't want to. He's going for a very wood-based army. There's no food here. He could possibly move forward and eat the caribou over here, I guess, or something like that at this time. But it's like he's just trying to gather from the wood over here, but he's got pushed off all of his wood. What's he going to do? Looks like player's still trying to fight this one. As he still has the bronze, and GrandMonster's just like, you know what? I don't care about your bronze. I've got these units here which have 50% pierce armor. And players like, yeah, I see your 50% pierce armor. I'm going to micro onto your Toxotes, onto your throwing axeman. Playing this fight really, really well. In fact, both players playing this fight pretty well here. And the Frost Giants microing away as best as they possibly can. What's the population though? 91 to 96. But gold mine just about out for GrandMonster, and he's gonna have to move over here, and that's no ability to retreat there. We're still just seeing throwing axemen getting built and Huskal, so the Hapaspis are gonna start getting very, very disgustingly good. There's, another longhouse up. Not gonna be that useful. The Hydra coming through, still alive even after being frozen twice in this game. And the units pushing in. Frost Giants retreating back. These Ravens just chilling over here for GrandMonster. No idea what he's going for here. Still no Rhyme. Possibly Rhyme would have been a... Oh no, maybe the third Frost Giant's better. Possibly Rhyme now would be better than a fourth Frost Giant. Just to keep it alive. We do see the Heracles going to get insta-sniped here so that the Frost Giants can go to town. Frost Giant immediately hits the Hydra. Yet again, this Hydra has not done a thing in these fights. But the army from TSM player is just so strong at this stage of the game with those Hephaestus against the pure infantry army of GrandMonster. Now imagine we were playing on Extended Edition here. GrandMonster could have gotten out Bogsviger to deal with these Hephaestus. He could have gone Huskal Bogsviger. Double hill fort, but on Vublit, it's not a possibility. We see the villagers getting picked off here as they're retreating back. Goldmine is finished. Player getting his heroes back out. Does he have Olympic parentage? No. Not going to waste his resources on that technology. Why would he do that? Villagers moving over here onto this wood line. Dwarves making their way over here. The Kados Kapot's chilling on this goal. We already see player having a very good line of sight of this gold mine as well. And now players are just going to calmly walk over onto this gold mine to deny it. He's got the Hephaestus. He's got the Toxotes. GrandMonster's got nothing. No hill fort on this location here. He has to fight this basically right now. He could use the dwarves to attack the Hephaestus though. It's probably not a bad idea. The market going up for GrandMonster. There's no way he gets to the Mythic Age now though. This is the Heracles coming back in, ready to go to town onto these guys. And the army of TSM player have spotted yet again the wood chopping operation, and GrandMonster has to get back. And GrandMonster's economy in absolute shambles right now with 40 villagers idle, I would guess. Plus idle villagers here as well. Ooh, I don't hate this. This is smart. He's going to get the gold mine with his gatherers over here. Obviously, these units will probably retreat through this way, but he'll still get a little bit more gold out of it. And the dwarves can move over onto the wood line, I guess. Yeah, he's going to get spotted. He can't move on to this gold mine because it's spotted. But you don't know that. And here the units come back. Potentially GrandMonster can fight this one here. So the dwarves coming in. He probably should. Oh, do we see Hera? Yeah, Hera's coming in now for player. That's going to be lights out for GrandMonster in the next coming minute here. The dwarves coming in onto this gold mine, trying to focus down the ox cart, being as frustrating as possible here. Now Paspis doing a lot of damage. No villagers getting pulled into this fight though. And players just like, yeah, I know, but I can just retreat. Get a second town center, cast Lightning Storm on your army here. And then spam 11 and say you resign now. But I think, man, if GrandMonster could have put more effort, because he had this secured, put more effort into getting some food before the Paspis transition, maybe he could have gotten out some raiding cavalry or some Jarl. Or maybe he should have built a market and then bought food to build those units. Don't know. Tough one. TSM players getting his town center. Just about to hit Hera. Look at all these units here. Absolute disgusting counters to the Norse army. He's going to walk right in. There is a hill fort for GrandMonster to at least save 10 of his units, but he's very far away from it now. There's Hera. GrandMonster should instantly retreat here. And instead of retreating, he's going to instantly hit the resign button. GG! Well played by player. I mean, this was coming. Obviously coming. And I think if we look at the post game, it's going to tell you a lot about what happened here. Actually, it's not really. The units killed lost is fairly equal here, but the military count's the big difference. The resource count here at this point in the game so heavily in the favor of player that he managed to get Mythic Age. So I don't exactly know if this was because no hill fort down, but I think that was the answer. If GrandMonster has this hill fort and then gets a second hill fort here, I reckon he holds this gold mine. I reckon he can survive for longer and then potentially win this with a tier or a Ragnarok. But he doesn't go for either of those, and instead was not able to hold on, and player takes the first game. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow button on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.